Hello student, this video is in continuation with the tenses video that I made last time. A quick recap, last time we had learned the ways of learning the rules of the tenses. Today we are going to recap the rules of the tenses with an example and further we will do an exercise in this video. So this is how we learn the rules of the tenses. You can refer to the previous video. V1 plus SES. If I take an example, this can be written as she writes a letter. She wrote a letter. She will write a letter. She is writing a letter. She was writing a letter. She will be writing a letter. She has written a letter. She had written a letter. Will have. So she will have written a letter. Similarly, she has been writing a letter. She had been writing a letter. Similarly, she will have been Now, why I have given you these examples to clarify with the rules that we had written in the last video. So before I proceed with the exercise formally, I wanted to tell you that these are the examples which are written in context of the rules which we had given you in the previous video. Now we will be doing the exercise and we will be solving it in an easy manner by writing all the rules in advance about it. Let's proceed. Now I have taken this worksheet. If I talk about this worksheet is divided into 4 different exercises and each exercise is based on one type of tense. For example, the first exercise is based on simple tense for present, past and future. But before beginning with this exercise, I want to mention the rule for each tense, okay? So that you remember that how we are actually solving this exercise. So if I talk about simple present tense, the rule which we had learnt is V1 plus SES is for the singular cases, singular nouns. And there will be only V1 in case of plural noun. No SES, okay? Similarly, for simple past tense, we have to use V2, second form of the verb. And for the simple future tense, we have to write will plus V1. Now let's proceed with the exercise. She at the hospital. When I talk about simple present tense, this is used with the actions that happens every day or the facts we use simple present tense. So if she is working at a hospital, she works at a hospital. She is a singular pronoun that is referred, so we will use S or ES. So it will be works. Similarly, they dash in that house. So you have to fill up this. So they refers to a plural pronoun. So we can say it as live. We will not use S or ES as we mentioned here in the rule. Similarly, let's come to this exercise. He everyday. With everyday word, it signifies that we are talking about simple present tense, the action that is happening every single day. So if I talk about study, study is a verb which I have to use with he, and he is a singular noun. So with a singular noun, we have to use s or es. So it will be studies. Similar manner, I dash my dash visit. Visit is a verb which we have to use my grandparents last weekend. What does this last weekend signify? Last weekend signify that we are talking about past tense here. So when we are talking about past tense, we have to use visited here. V1, that means we have to use V2, verb second form of the verb. Which V1 was written here, we had to convert it into V2 to make it in the past tense. Similarly, she dash read that book yesterday. Yesterday is again referring for the past tense. That means we have to change it into verb second form. So now here the verb is read. So we will write read. It is pronounced as read, though we write it as read only. Similarly, we travel to Paris in 2020. Again, it's past tense. That means we have to change travel into verb second form. So we will write here as traveled. Similarly, they go to the beach next Saturday. This signifies that we are talking about future action, future tense. So we will use will plus V1. They will go. He start his job in a month. So he will start his job in a month. Okay, so will plus V1. Start will remain start. I call you tomorrow. So tomorrow is again depicting the future tense. So we will use will plus V1. Now we are coming to the continuous tense exercise. But before we do this exercise, before we solve this exercise, we have to write down the rules for each tense. Okay. So present continuous. It's is, am, are plus V1 plus ing. In the similar manner, for past continuous, similarly for future continuous, now we have to see which tense we have to use here in our fill-ups. Okay, let's proceed with the exercise. So now she cook dinner right now. That means the action is happening right now. So we can refer it for the present continuous. So we have to apply the rule is, am, are plus V1 plus ing. Now she is a singular pronoun which is used. So we will use is. Now we have to cook. We have to change it into ing form. She is cooking. In the similar manner, they. They is plural. Football when it started raining yesterday. That means it's past tense. It's depicting past tense, and the rule was, were plus V1 plus ing. So they is, we have to use a plural helping verb, were playing. Football when it started raining yesterday. Tomorrow, he read a book at this time tomorrow. So now we have to use future continuous. Will be plus V1 plus ing. So we will be writing will be reading. Similarly, I study for my exam at the moment. Am studying. At the moment is depicting present continuous. We watch a movie last night. So last night is depicting past tense. So we have to use was, were plus V1 plus ing. We is plural, so we will use the plural helping verb, that is were. Similarly, likewise, they have a party this weekend. So, coming weekend they have, this weekend, coming weekend they are having. So, we can say they are having a party this weekend. Now, she swam in the pool yesterday. So, we have to mention it in the past continuous. So, she is singular. So, we will use a singular helping verb. Was swimming. Similarly, I travel to Paris next month. So, next month is depicting the future action. So, we have to use future continuous. Will be traveling. Similarly, he talked to his friend on the phone right now. Right now is again depicting present continuous. So, we will say he is talking to his friend on the phone right now. Similarly, they at the club, dance at the club last Friday. Last Friday is again depicting past continuous. So we will say was were plus V1 plus ing. So we will use were dancing. Okay, so we have done the exercise for simple tense and we have done the exercise for continuous tense also. Now we are beginning with the perfect tense exercise. So I'm changing the page, just wait. So this is the worksheet, okay? So before I proceed, I want to mention the rules again so that you all remember. So present perfect tense. The rule is has, have, plus V3. In the similar manner for past perfect, you remember for the perfect tense, the best friend is V3. So had plus V3. You all have to refer to my previous video as well before beginning with this exercise video. Future perfect. It's will plus have plus V3. Okay. So now we have written the rules. Now we will proceed with the formal exercise. Have you ever? Have is already written. So we have to use the best friend for perfect tense. It's V3. Visit will turn into the third form will be visited. Similarly, she has read 3 books this month. They eat at the restaurant before. So they have eaten. Eat, the third form will be eaten. And why we have used have? We have used because they is a plural pronoun. I study Spanish for 2 years. So I have studied. Okay. I always take a plural helping verb. Study, the third form for study will be studied. So remember that for perfect tense, the best friend is V3. So we have to change everything into each and every form of verb, one first form of the verb or second form of the verb into the third form of the verb. So he is singular, so has traveled. We live in this city for a decade. Decade refers to 10 years. So we have lived. Similarly, has is already written, that it's depicting in itself that we have to use the verb third form. So watch, we have to change it into the third form. Watched the latest movie yet. Has she watched the latest movie yet? They meet each other in the high school. They have met each other. They had met. So we can say met. Had plus V3 we can also use. Met each other in the high school. I work on this project since last year. So that means the work is still in progress. So this sentence is not meant for the perfect tense. This belongs to perfect continuous tense. Okay. Have you ever? Have is already mentioned. So you have to use the best friend for this have. So that is verb third form. To try will be changed into the third form, that is tried. Have you ever tried that exotic food? Now let's begin to the perfect continuous tense. But before we begin, we have to write down the rules for this tense as well. So now let's begin. Present, perfect, continuous. The rule is it's has, have, plus been, plus V1, plus ing. Similarly, for past, perfect, continuous, it's had, plus been, plus V1, plus ing. Similarly, for future, perfect, continuous, tense. It is will, plus have, plus been, plus V1, plus ing. You can refer to the video wherein you don't have to even learn the rules. You have to just work on those 4 magical fingers, okay? So now let's begin. She read that book for hours. So now for hours she has been reading. So you have to use present perfect continuous, has been reading. Similarly, they play football since morning. Since morning, the action is still in progress. So it is present perfect continuous. So we will be using with they, we have to use the plural helping verb. They have been playing. Similarly, I study for this exam all week. So for all week he has been studying. So I with I we use plural helping verb, have been studying. Similarly, he work on this project for months. So now he has been working on this project for months. Okay. So with he, we will use has been working. Similarly, for fifth sentence, wait at the airport for long time. अभी तक वो wait कर रहा है. Okay. So we have been waiting at the airport for a long time. Similarly, she paint the entire room this afternoon. She has been painting the entire room this afternoon. They, now they will you will use have, plural helping verb, been, we have to use in the present perfect. Practice, the ing form will be practicing the piano for weeks. I cook dinner for the family since I got home. So, from the time she has reached back home, she has been cooking the dinner. So, but with I, we have to use have. He has been. Similarly, and for the fix, we have to change it into ing form. It should be fixing. Similarly, we have been. Okay, so I guess you have understood this concept pretty well now, and you should not face any difficulty while solving this exercise. Please learn all the verb form, that is actually very much essential for your future as well, to have better clarity in the tenses. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. See you in the next video.